Some pretty interesting news about Puka Nacua. Apparently, he wants to retire at the age of 30. I feel like it's a pretty rare thing where star NFL players want to retire at a young age, but at the same time, you gotta love it because, football, full contact sport, pretty violent. Of course, it's not as violent as it once was back in the 80s, 70s, even the mid 2010s, but still a very violent game. So whenever a star player or just any player can kind of get out while still being relatively healthy is always a good thing. So credit to Puka. Will he actually do this? We'll have to see. But he had this to say: I know I want to retire at the age of 30. I'm 23 right now. I'm going into year 3. It wouldn't even be 10 years. It'd be maybe 7 or 8. And a big reason why he has this mindset is because he was teammates with Aaron Donald. And he even said, I think if Aaron Donald to go out on the top, I think it would be super cool. Now, so far, Puka in his career, his rookie year was sensational, broke a rookie wide receiver record, and he just looked like a complete monster. 2024, this past season, dealt with a lot of injuries. So it'll be really interesting to see how he kind of bounces back in year 3. I hope he can stay healthy because, man, he was probably my favorite player to watch in 2023. He just looked different out there, man. And I hope with the addition of Devontae Adams, they could kind of spread the ball out a little more, because that's the thing about Rams wide receivers over the years with Sean McVay. He really loves to run them into the ground, just a lot of touches every single game. So I feel like if they could kind of keep Puka a little more fresh. I know he wants the ball every single play, but I just think for the longevity of him staying on the field, I just hope Matt Stafford, Sean McVay disperse the ball a little more evenly and just don't put it all on Puka Nacua. So yeah, man, let me know what you think about this news. If you're a Rams fan, are you upset with Puka or do you completely understand? Let me know in the comments below. Now, there's a lot of people saying on the comments on X and whatnot, saying, haha, pipe dream of going out on top, etc., etc. And, for all the people saying that, I don't know, man. Since Sean McVay has been the head coach of the Rams, I feel like the team has always been in the mix, except for like a few outlier years. Like, just think about the 2024 season. It was kind of up in the air. No one really had them doing anything this past year. And what? They were a play away from beating the Eagles on the road. So I feel like as long as Sean McVay has a solid quarterback that he trusts, and hypothetically, if they have another excellent draft like they did in 2024, I'm telling you, the Rams are going to be super competitive for the next 2-3 years. It'll be definitely a very interesting thing to see how they transition away from Matt Stafford. That's definitely going to be a huge moment for that franchise. But besides that, Jared Verse is going to be around for a while. You have solid pieces offensively. I just think the Rams are going to be a legit contender for the next little while at least. And I also heard some people say how he shouldn't have made this public due to him potentially getting a bag he rightfully deserves. And I kind of understand that to a certain extent, because if the Rams know that he's going to retire at the age of 30, I would absolutely be hesitant to offering him a large amount of money for sure. But at the same time, if he becomes a Super Bowl champion and he has another offensive player of the year sort of year in the next 2-3 years, you would kind of think the Rams would do right by him and give him one big final payday, a year or 2 from now when his rookie deal expires. But we'll have to see how it all plays out, man. Either way, I just hope Puka has an amazing, amazing season, year 3, And I expect the Rams to be right up there with the Eagles yet again in January 2026. So let me know how far you think the Rams are going to go in the 2025 season. And do you think Puka is going to have a bounce back season? Let me know in the comments below. Now, Matt Stafford actually had a quote about Devontae Adams joining the Rams, and he had this to say: "Big addition to our team. I have a ton of respect for him, the way he goes about his business and the way he plays the game. He's been a big time in the league for a long time. So happy to have him. I know he's going to be a big addition to our team." And I just think the NFC West as a whole is going to be quite fascinating to watch for the 2025 season. You have the revamped LA Rams. You have the new kind of era in Seattle with Sam Darnold, no more DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, revenge game twice a year. Also, you have the Niners with Brock Purdy, probably Kyle Shanahan's last dance there. And then you have the Cardinals with Kyler Murray, probably easily the most uninteresting team out of those four, but you know, you can't have everything. But yeah, man, those Rams and Seahawks games are going to be must-see TV. Really excited to see what the schedule is like in May because, you know, a lot of people have talked crap about Cooper Kupp, and I am definitely not a believer in him lasting much longer in the NFL. But I really think he's going to be fired up and extra just amped up in his first year in Seattle. I know he's coming off a lot of injuries. I know there's a lot of wear on the tires, but if you just take a look back at the 2024 season, there was a similar guy who was a star player, had a ton of injuries, went to a new team, stayed healthy for the whole year, and was a huge factor. I'm not saying Cooper Kupp can be the same thing as Saquon Barkley, but I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed healthy for all of 2025 and just had a really, really good year. So a lot of moving pieces, a lot of storylines, a lot of excitement, and counting down the days until September. It'll be here in no time. But yeah, man, let me know if you're fired up about the NFC West and what do you think about Puka potentially retiring at the age of 30. Let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far, please subscribe and like the vid. It'd help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
It's always nice when there's trouble in the pocket that the quarterback's able to run and get outside that pocket and make throws on the run. Nice job that time completing the pass.
They'll go shotgun here. It's caught by Devin Smith. Jones there to make the tackle.
Well, the quarterback showed off his arm strength that time, didn't he? He put the football right on the money, on a line, right into the receiver's hands.
No margin for error. From just outside the goal line, he's averaging about 3 yards a carry on the day.
Of course, he's a dangerous runner when you give him room to run, but there is no room this time. What a job by the defense. They bottle him up for a short gain.
Second and goal. Jams it across the goal line for the touchdown. The Jets take the field here in the second half, looking to extend their lead in this one, partner.
Yeah, you know what you do? It's halftime is over. You come out here, you're not sure what the new game plan is going to be, but feel your way into the game. Don't take a chance early and turn the football over.
Can you believe how steady and reliable this guy is?
He is. What's the phrase for it? He is money, Jim Nantz. Man, he pays off every single time. You throw the football near him, he'll make the catch.
Gonna try and scramble now. It's Marshall. Marshall's tackled down at the 29.
Well, as you saw that receiver make the catch, I'll just say this. You cannot throw the football enough his way. There's no such thing. When in doubt, you don't like anything, turn and find him and throw it to him.
Amaro with the reception. Amaro's throws met after a gain of 8. 6th catch today so far.
The Jets coaching staff has done a good job of mixing things up today on first down. The pass catches the defense off guard. They pick up solid yards. Now it's 2nd and short.
2nd down and 2. Takes off with it. Underneath, but can't find a mark that time as the pass goes incomplete.
Oh, they make the quarterback get outside the pocket, and there is nobody open. They covered everybody.
3rd down and 2. The Jets get a first down. Touchdown, Jets.